students, welcome to this session. In this session, we are going to deal with the translation of various expression to intermediate code. The objective of this session is how to transfer these particular expressions to that intermediate code representation. Now the question is, what is the need to convert this particular expression into intermediate code? So, if any source code is given to the compiler, the first phase of compiler is lexical analysis. It is going to generate the tokens. The set of tokens are given as input to the syntax analysis phase. It is going to generate the parse tree or syntax tree. The third phase is semantic analysis. When the syntax tree is given as input to the semantic analysis phase, it is going to generate the annotated parse tree as output. And while we are going for the ICG intermediate code generation, all these things are going to convert into the intermediate code. So now here we are going to discuss about how the expressions are converted into the intermediate code. Okay, there is a need to convert the various expressions. These expressions may be Boolean expressions or control flow expressions like if, else, switch, while, do, while, all the things, and into the intermediate code for the smooth execution of the source code. Why? Because we cannot convert the source code directly into the machine code. So in between source code and intermediate code, we have to generate the intermediate code for the smooth execution of the program, and we have to generate the SDD. Okay, SDD stands for the syntax directed definition of the 3 address code, which is the one form of intermediate code. Okay, for the given expressions. Okay, we are going to discuss about the various 3 address codes from the given expression. If the expression is x equal to y op z, here op is any arithmetic operator or any relational operator. Okay, so this is the 3 address code. As we know, if it is a 3 address code, the maximum number of operands are, or maximum number of addresses we are using are 3. And on right hand side there is a maximum of only one operator. And come to the second one, x equal to opy. Here op means any unary operator like a equal to minus c. Okay, next the third one is x equal to y. That means here it is the assignment operator. For example, if I am writing a equal to 2, so this 2 value is assigned to a. This is the assignment operator. And if x relop go to l, here relop means the relational operator and l is the label. Depend upon the condition, if x less than 2, then I am writing go to some label a, b, c, which means if depend upon this condition, if this condition is true, I have to go to this label ABC and I have to execute the code under that particular label. Okay, next PARAMX, this is the function call or procedure call. So these are the various types of 3 address code for these given expressions. Now we are going to discuss some more expressions. So call P comma M. That means if you are passing the arguments, we have to write the 3 address code like this. So where P comma M are the arguments. So if I can write call some A comma B. So here call is the nothing but function name. We can write our function name here. Okay. Next, return N. So as we know, this return statement is used to return some values from the function to the called one. Suppose if I am writing a of something, if I am writing return some n, so when this is called, at that time I have to take this value from this return statement. Okay. Next, a equal to b of I. This is the index assignment. This is used in the arrays. And b of I equal to a. That means I am assigning some particular value to the array. This is the indexed assignment. Now come to the next one. This is x equal to pointer statements. Okay, so what is a pointer? A pointer is a variable which can store the address of another variable. For the pointer statements, these are the 3 address codes. Okay, Now we are going to generate the various three address codes for the given expressions. Let us say first, if the expression is b tends to true, that means b tends to true and b tends to false. These are the Boolean expressions. If an expression is like that, b tends to true, then what you have to write, b dot code equal to, that means this is the three address code. We are going to gen means generate, go to and b dot true, which indicates that if my statement is true, depend upon this statement, I am going to see this go to statement represents some label. Let us say go to ABC. So when this particular statement is true, I have to go to ABC and I have to execute the corresponding statements in the ABC. Come to b dot false. So when b is tends to be false, that means the value of that particular b, that statement is false, then I have to write b dot code equal to gen means generating. I am going to generate the three address code where I have to go to some label b dot false. That means if the statement is false, I have to go to a particular label and I have to execute that expressions. When b is nothing but the expression here. When b is false, that means I have to go to xyz and I have to execute all the statements in the xyz label. Okay. Now we are going to deal with the generation of the three address code for the given expressions. Let us consider the first one, b tends to b1 or b2. This is the logical OR operator. So b tends to b1 or b2. Here b1 is some expression and b2 is some expression, and the value of b is depend upon execution of this statement. So if it is logical OR, if any one of the expression is true, then b is true. So while going to execute, if I found b1 is true, so no need to check b2. So directly we can say b is true. If b1 is false, then only we have to check for this b2 and we can say some b value. Okay, depend upon the b2 only we can say b value when b1 is false. Now come to this. So these are the semantic rules for this logical expressions. So b equal to b1 or b2. So here I am writing, if b1 is true, if this particular b1 is true, so no need to check for b2. We can write b is true. When b is false, then only I have to execute the expression b2. For that I am writing new label which indicates we are going to generate the three address code for b2 also. Now come to here, when b2 is true, when b1 is false, we are coming for b2. When b2 is true, then only we can say that b is also true, like this. But when b2 is also false, here b is false. Okay. So these are the semantic rules and this is the code. So b dot code, that means this b value is going to evaluate like this. Now we are writing the code, three address code for this b. So this is the evaluation process of b. So when I need the b value, so first I have to execute this b1 code. Okay. Then if it is false, I am going to generate the three address code for b2. So when b1 is false, then only I am writing this label and going to generate the or execute the b2 code. Okay. For the expression b tends to b1 and b2, which means here b1 is representing some expression e1 and b2 is representing some expression e2, and this is a logical AND operator. B value is depend upon both b1 and b2. When b1 is true and b2 is true, then only we can say b is true. If b1 is false or b2 is false, then we can say b is false. So this is the logical AND operator. Now let us define the semantic rules. So when b1 is false, we can say b is false. So no need to execute the b2 statement. By simply checking if b1 is false, we can directly say b is false. When b1 is true, then there is a necessary to check B2. So when B1 is true, I am creating new label. New label means we are going to generate the 3 address code for the next expression. Here the next expression is B2. Now come to B2. If B2 is true, then B is true. Why? Because if I am going for B2, that means already I checked the B1. If it is true only, then we are going for B2. And B2 also true, then B is true. If B2 is false, then we can say B is false. Why? Because here B1 is false and B2 also false. Or B1 is true, B2 is false. Then also B is false. So these are the semantic rules, and from these semantic rules we are going to generate the code. So B dot code equal to, first I have to evaluate the B1 code. Now the question, when we are going for B2, when B1 is true, then only we are going for B2. If B1 is false, no need to check for B2, directly we can say B is true. So label of B1 true. If B1 is true, then only we are moving for B2. Then we are going to execute the B2 code. So this is the 3 address code for the given expression. Okay. Come to this expression, B equal to not B1. That means if some expression is given, E tends to not equal to E1, which indicates if E1 is true, then E is false. If E1 is false, that indicates E is true. Okay. So come to the semantic rules. Here the expression is B tends to B1 not equal to B1. Okay. That means if B1 is true, no doubt at all, B is false. That means that's a vice versa condition. And if B1 is false, if this is false, so immediately we can say B is true. So from these semantic rules, we are going to generate the code as B dot code equal to B1 dot code. Okay. Of course, but in the reverse manner. Okay. Now we are going to deal with the various flow of control statements. Now the question, what is a flow of control? If the program is going to be executed in the sequential manner, depend upon some particular statements, if the flow of control is changing from one statement to another statement, that means if we are going to skip some expressions, depend upon some statements known as control statements or flow of control statements. So flow of control means how the control is moving from one to another, one instruction to another instruction. So flow of control means how to move, control is moving from one instruction to another instruction. So instruction 1, 2, 3 until so on n. So this is the execution way of this is the execution way for all these instructions. But if there is a control statements here, so we may skip these particular lines or instructions. The control may directly go for the nth statement. Okay. Next, so these control statements can change the flow from statement m to statement n. If you are going with the finite automata representation, so if there is a state, let us say S1, S2 and S3 until so on Sn. If the flow is moving from S1 to S2, S2 to S3 and so on to Sn. Because of the control statements, from S2 we may directly move to Sn. That means because of the control statements, we can represent the instruction state S2 and here the instruction state is Sn. The control is moved from S2 to Sn. Okay. What are the various flow control statements? If, that means the simple if else, else if ladder, switch, and the looping statements like for, while, do while. Okay. And the switch statement also. Okay. And here also we are going to generate the SDD, syntax directed definitions. Then we are going to generate the 3 address code for this particular flow of control statements. Come to the first example. This is simple if. So this is the graphical representation of how the if statement is going to be executed. So here this is the if block. So b dot code means some expression we are going to evaluate like this, if some expression. So this is b dot code. Depend upon the result of this expression, after evaluation of this expression, we may have two paths. What are the two paths? The first one is true, second one is false. That means if this condition is true, we are going to execute some statements. If the condition is false, we are going to execute some other statements. So when b is true, I am going to execute this S1 code. So what is S1? So if some expression, some S1. So S1 means statements. After this, I have some S1 next statements. Okay. If the expression, this is the if statement, and S1 is nothing but the statements inside this if block, and S1 next is what are the instructions or what are the code existed outside of this if. Come to here. If b is true, we are going to execute this particular S1 statements. If this particular expression is false, b code is false, we are going to execute some other expressions apart from that S1. Come to this production. S tends to if b, then S1. Now we are going to generate the semantic rules. So if b, if this b is true, what we are going to execute? No doubt at all, we have to execute S1. Okay. So when b is true, we are writing new label. That means we are going to execute the S1 statements inside the if block. So S1 next equal to S next. That means we are executing the S block. After executing S, what will happen? The control comes out of this if block, and we are going to execute the remaining statements if exist. That's why we are writing S1 next equal to S next. Okay. Then if b is false, so what we are going to execute? S next. That means if this expression is false, so no need to execute this particular if block, and I have to execute the statements what is outside of if. So it is represented here. Okay. From this semantic rules, we are generating the code as S dot code equal to, first I have to check for the b code. Fine. So this is the appending operator. Then when we are going to generate, or when we are going to execute this one S1, when b is true. That's why I wrote label b dot true. If b is true, then I have to execute this S1 code. It is represented here. Okay. So in this if expression is true, we are going to generate the S1 code. After completion of this S1 statements, we may execute this statements outside of if the statements are existed. Otherwise, simply we moved from the if block. Okay. If it is false, no need to execute this if block. Directly can move for the apart. Directly we can move from this particular or. If this expression is false, simply skip the if statements or if block. We can go to execute for the next statements. Okay. Now the second one is if else. Come to this graphical representation. So here this is the if code. If this is the expression, if it is true, I am going to execute some code. Otherwise, if it is false, I am going to execute some other code. Let us say if some expression. If this expression is true, what I am going to execute? If it is true, I am going to execute S1. That means these are the S1 statements, let us assume. Okay. Else what I am going to execute? If it is false, that means if the expression is false, I am going to execute S2. Fine. So this is the if else block, and after this if else block, I may have some other statements, let us say yes statements. So these are the statements not belongs to this if else. Now come to here. So let us take this expression yes tends to if b, then S1 else S2. So now the question, First I have to execute B. This is the expression. If this expression is true, what I have to execute? If the expression is true, what I have to execute? This particular S1. So I have to execute S1. What I have to write? If B is true, new label. New label is nothing but we are going to generate the 3 address code and we are going to evaluate the S1. So S1 next equal to S next. That means I am going to execute this S1 code. After that S1, no need to execute this else part. Simply we can come for this S statements, the statements which are outside of the if else block. Okay. Next, if B is false, then no need to execute this S1 statement. Simply skip it. Directly go for S2. So if B is false, I am creating new label again. That means I am going to execute this S2 block. So S2 next equal to S next. That means if this expression is false, no need to execute this particular if. Go to this else statement, execute the entire S2 statements. After that, if any statement is exist, I am going to execute that one. So from the semantic rules, we can write S.code equal to, first I am going to execute B code. When S1 is executed, when B is true. So label B true, I am going to execute the S1. It is represented here. Okay. Then generate, go to S next. That means after executing of S1, no need to check for this else block. Directly we have to go for this S statements. That means the control is skipped to this particular position. Okay. Then come to the next one. Label B is false. That means if this B is false, no need to check S1, directly go for S2. So when expression is false, we are coming for this S2. After execution of the S2, we may execute the S block or the statements which are outside of the if else block. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about the while. Okay. So come to here. This is begin statement. That means initially the while block is looks like this. While some expression, depend upon the condition, we may repeat the loop. Okay. So here B dot code is nothing but my expression. If it is true, I have to go for the S1 code and again I have to go for begin. That means if the expression is true, let us say if the statements are S1, I have to execute this S1 statements. Again I have to go to the begin. That means again I have to execute the expression until it fails. Okay. If it is false, if the expression is false, we are outside of the loop. We have to come outside of the loop. Let us take the statement yes while B1 or while B. Here B the expression. So begin new label. So initially if I want to execute this, I have to create the 3 address code. Okay. Then if B is true, that means if the expression is true, call the new label. That means I have to execute this S1. Okay. Here begin equal to new label means if I want to execute this while block, I have to create the 3 address code. Next come to the next is S1 next equal to begin. That means if this expression is true, then I have to execute this S1 block. After that again I have to go for this expression. I have to again check whether the expression is true or false. If it is again true, again I have to execute S1 and again I have to go for the checking of that particular expression. Okay. When B is false, that means when if the expression is false, no need to execute this particular block, come to outside of the while. It may consist some other statements, let us say yes statements. Okay. So if the expression is false, no need to execute the while block, comes out of the while and execute the remaining statements which are existed outside of the while block. Okay. So when S2 next equal to S next, that means simply if it is false, comes out of that loop and execute the remaining statements. From these semantic rules, we can write the 3 address code is S.code equal to first label begin. That means we are initiating the loop. Then when we are executing the B code, B code means this expression. If it is true, call the label B.true. Then I have to execute S1 statements. So S1 code. Then I have to write begin, go to begin. If S1 is executed, again I have to go for this one. Again I have to execute this particular expression until it is false. If it is false, simply come out of that loop and execute the remaining statements or instructions. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about the switch expression. So what is switch? So if we have the n number of choices, we have to design this switch statement. So switch E means some expression and some cases are there. If E is pointed to this A1, I am going to execute S1. If it is points to A2, I am going to execute the S2, S1, S2 are nothing but the statements, and A1, A2 are the various case numbers. Okay, after that, if all the statements are skipped, then I am going to print this default statements and I am going to execute this SN. Come to here, how to evaluate the expression. If the expression in E, I am going to evaluate the expression, then I am going to store that value to temporary. That means switch, here I am calling some expression. Okay, depend upon the expression I am going to execute. Here I am saying that this particular expression value is stored in the some temporary variable temp. Okay, then go to test. Test means I am going to execute this block. Test. If temp equal to E1, if temp equal to E1, that means what I am getting here, if it is equal to A1, then I have to execute the statements S1. Okay, then I have to execute the statements S1, but here we cannot write directly S1. So what I am writing, then go to label L1. What is L1? Code of S1. Label L1 represents the code for S1. That means I am going to execute the statements S1 and go to next. If it is go to next, simply I have to skip all the things, then I have to execute the remaining statements. If this temp equal to A2, that means I have to execute this particular statement S2. So what I have to write? Go to L2. Here the label is L2. So go to this label and execute the code S2. Execute the code S2. And after execution of that code, we have to go for the next. This process will be continued until the switch expression is evaluated. Okay, so depend upon the expression, any one of the cases is going to be evaluated. Clear? Okay, from this session we learnt how to convert the given expression into the 3-address code. The purpose of conversion of these expressions to 3-address code is, or intermediate code is, for the smooth execution of the source code, because we cannot convert the source code directly into the machine code. So in between source code and machine code, definitely we need an intermediate code. Okay, so we are converting this expression into the intermediate code form. Here the intermediate code form is 3-address code, which is the well-known intermediate code form. Then we are going to generate the SDDs first. SDD stand for syntax directed definitions. After that, by using that SDDs, we are generating the 3-address code from the given forms. Thank you.